That's right. Let's find out what's trending with digital producer Trent Gilbreth. Hi, honey. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, CP. Let's start with what's trending here on 11 Alive. Jeopardy is back in every which way. We love our beloved quiz show for decades now, and Alex Trebek is 80. He's been struggling with this cancer diagnosis, but he is fighting it like a champ, and he's back on set in this COVID era. So, LA Times reported that they're doing everything to keep him safe. Contestants are spaced apart in their podiums, and Alex won't be going over to them. And Ken Jennings, former super champ, is going to be a producer this season. So keep locked on 11 Alive, watching Jeopardy. More entertainment news, but Madonna, our pop icon, our pop princess and queen, is directing her own biopic. Universal signed a new deal for her own movie. She's also co-writing the screenplay with Diablo Cody of Juno fame, win that Oscar. Now, when I think of Madonna, I think first and foremost a League of Their Own. But I'm going to give her the best of both worlds, her Golden Globe winning role in Evita.
They're not the solutions they promised to be. The answer was here all the time. I love you and hope you love me. Don't cry for me, Argentina.
CP, we're seeing this on Twitter, a possible Miley casting. Okay, no one's been casted yet, but who do you see in that role of Madonna?
Okay, Trent, it's going to be very hard to cast that perfect person. So what if she casts her daughter, Lourdes? How about that? Dyes her hair blonde?
Ooh.
What do you think?
I like that.
I don't know.
I like that. A very nice twist. And Lourdes, she's really come into her own. She looks like a force in herself. I don't know if she's an actress, but I can see it, and I'm liking it. Of course, I'm always Team Miley. Now follow us on all platforms. Happy birthday to Chesley McNeil, who celebrated his B-Day earlier this week. We posted him on @ATL&Co on Instagram. Always get in our story for fun, throwbacks, real talk moments. You can swipe up and go straight to segments on AtlantaandCompany.com. And of course, on our Facebook page, you'll find so many heartwarming stories, ones that you and Kara share, and so much more. CP?
Oh, thank you, Trent. So appreciate it. And thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you right back here on Monday. Have an awesome weekend. Bye-bye.